And you're listening to the Wedge Radio Show here on the Wedge Radio Network. We're live Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. to midnight. And we got Emily Youcis on the line. Emily Youcis.
Yo.
Hey, you're on the air now.
All right.
Now, Roach had to step out for some reason. I have no idea why. I think he had to make a phone call or something. But
yeah.
Emily, first time I saw some of your work, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people, or a good core of the audience, is probably unfamiliar. I saw some of your stuff on Newgrounds, and I have to say, it's kind of the first thing I saw was the Dead Girl Strip Club.
Okay.
And that was, we actually talked about it on the show because I watched it, and and almost immediately I had to watch it again.
Yeah, got that rewatchability.
It weirded out my co-host completely. He was just kind of like shocked. And if you could just give like if you want to give a quick description of what some of your work is about, because to tell you the truth, I don't even know how to describe it.
That's like, yeah, neither do I. It's such a broad question. I'll describe Dead Girl Strip Club. That'll be concrete. It's about this. I made it after I got dumped, and it's about this dog that gets abandoned by this other dog in the middle of a field, and he wanders through the land of the dead because he abandons him in the land of the dead, and then he wanders into this dead people bar, and he's just, there's a guy on stage who's screaming and he's powered by electricity, and the body parts are flying everywhere because he's a powered like meat machine, like singing robot, and everyone else is just like dead on the tables because it's just like real alcoholics. And so Alfred goes in, just like a regular American bar, and it's just the whole soundtrack is like Chopped and Screwed, Hot Chocolate, You Sexy Thing, that song, right? Yeah. I believe in miracles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slowed that down. Did you realize that was it?
I didn't realize that's what it was, but I knew there was something because, like, just hearing it, I know it was pulled apart, like, just completely. I couldn't recognize it, though.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's just that song Mutilated because I love to mutilate audio.
Now, when it comes to animation and I guess, like, well, for that one was more or less, you said breaking up was a muse for you. What's your kind of, I don't want to say go-to because that's kind of a little hack, but what's something that inspires you to animate these types of, I don't want to call it cartoon either.
What do you want to call it?
I don't fucking know.
Experience.
Okay, sure. Yeah, these odd experiences that you're, if anyone forces their friend to sit down and watch it, they're forcing them to have this experience that you don't really get anywhere else. Because that's what I did with Roach. I told him, like, you have to sit down, you have to watch these. And it's about, his name is, the reoccurring character in most of them, or pretty much all of them that I've seen, is Alfred Alfer.
Yeah, Alfred, that Alfie Alf.
And and he's what kind of dog is that?
He's like a pit bull shit mix, just your standard scrawny, rabid, little shit dog on the corner or whatever.
He's that stray that just you happen to see every now and then, but no one seems to be able to catch.
Yeah, it's just usually covered in shit and filth.
And so it's because I'm saying a lot. You're slowly making a feature-length movie out of Alfred and I guess his antics, which is not even a good way of saying anything.
Yes.
And what I appreciated when I first saw, because the first one I saw was a Dead Girl Strip Club, where he goes into the strip club, and then it says that this is a part of a feature-length movie, and it's going to be done all out of order, kind of like, I feel like doing this part today. Like, do you have an actual script, or is it just kind of like a vague idea that you want to somehow piece together over time?
Oh, way! Well, I've been writing it since like 2007, so right after Alfred's Playhouse, which is like, you know, the last like real Alfred or whatever. And so I have like 7 notebooks filled with like all these drawings and notes and shit from over these 7 years, and it's just like built up layer upon layer upon layer, like dealing with my experiences in the world. And then I like realized that a lot of what I said like came true in real life, and now so yeah, it's so I don't like have an actual script, but I have like the scenes in my mind, and it's like a musical, and I know how they're gonna happen, but I do everything out of order. So I know what they're gonna be, but I need to make them in order to know exactly where I'm gonna put them, and I make it as I go up, kind of too. So
So it gives you room to like improvise and throw in some things that maybe you didn't foresee.
Well, yeah, I need that. That's like the best part. Like that's the best part of like anything that I do is making it and then coming to the end and then like, oh shit, now I know what to do. Oh shit, it all came together. Like, and I know it's gonna happen. And the movie's been slowly like coming together for years. So it's just been like 7 years of like, oh shit. And like in the movie I wrote in that he's like, you know, a shitty dog that like goes, you know, he's like in the cage, but then he realizes that he's on a show. So he realizes that he like meta, like he is beloved, there is an audience, people do love him, people are watching him, people do care about him, and that he has like fan art all over the net. And this is like before I knew like I had a fan base. And then just like over the past year there's been like all this fucking fan art and shit just like pouring out, and it's like, oh my god, this dog that nobody loved is finally like getting love, and it's like just like what I wrote like 3 years ago. So like all this eerie shit comes together. So
yeah, I can imagine just getting random messages as people just like, I love this, and then I would imagine the main staple of society would just be like, why? What's wrong with you people? Because I had Roach looking at me saying, like, for the most part, what's wrong with you? How can you enjoy this? I'm like, this is great. What's wrong? What's the matter with you?
It's weird. It's like this dichotomy. It's like you're never in between. It's like you either love it or you're gonna hate it, and that's true with a lot of good stuff usually. And I don't know, the people that get it and don't get it. I feel like the themes that I use are very common to real life. Everyone dies. Everyone like goes to bars. The bar, I think, was pretty accurate representation of an actual bar. Mm-hmm. Just filled with people that are dead inside or dying. There's really sad shit, and bars are depressing. I can understand the soundtrack, though. The soundtrack is pretty piercing, and I can understand how the average person would not appreciate it. And then, like, I can see it in the mode, like, normality glasses. I can look, sometimes I watch my cartoon and I'm like, wow, holy shit, this is so far from, like, anything that anyone could conceive, and this is just, like, it won't fit in, like, to your brain synapses, like, so that's why they just reject it. But then, you know, so I can see it through both views of how you can see.
And that's always good to have that kind of on the back burner. You have the idea of what maybe just other people might look at it and what they might see, as opposed to people who are fans. Because fans of anything look at something with love and they don't even see I don't want to say they don't see anything wrong with it, but they're all in. And you have the people on the outside who aren't. So if you have that kind of little kind of window in the back burner, it can probably, I would imagine it would allow it just to keep either if you want to keep those people out or maybe allow a couple of them in.
I've been trying to. I feel like Insanity's mainstream now. Like, the stuff I've been doing back in the day, there's a fucking show on the internet about on Adult Swim now about a satanic dog, which I think they ripped me off. It's called Mr. Pickles, and, you know, my dog's name is Dictator Pickles. They ripped off me and Screamer Claws, probably. But anyway, as far as the mainstream goes, I feel like death culture is becoming more and more mainstream, and like psychoticism is becoming cool. And I
think the goths, I would say the goths kind of held that back a little bit, made everyone seem kind of silly.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that little stereotype to say that everything, like, if you're morbid, then you're automatically goth or sad or, it's just dumb label shit. Mm-hmm. It is a culture of death anyway. Like, America is founded on death. This whole food system is based around death. Everything we get is from slaves, so I don't see why people are,
The only people, I would say, the only people who seem to be shocked by our world are the people who somehow figure a way in, and then they, in the end, like, if the people who don't know or the people who do know that there's something severely wrong, no one does anything about it. So I would imagine for those people, what's the point of even knowing?
They don't want to know, and when they find out, they just don't care, and they keep going with what they're doing. I'm doing it too. I'm not excluding myself. I live here. I'm producing by giving content to the world, but I'm still just eating the death food and part of the cycle of capitalist sociopath death that we have to live in.
Like every French fry you eat, you make one more slave.
Exactly.
Now I have to ask you, just because, obviously because I haven't brought it up yet, but there's the necrophilia in your cartoons. Mm-hmm. Is there is that there just as like a shock value, or is it there just because, like, I don't want to say like you're interested, or like I'm just curious about that. I'm not against any of that in the cartoons. Real life, I'm not a big fan. But in cartoons, I think, like in the show, I think it kind of works with the grimy and the dirtiness of it.
Well, yeah, part of the movie was that Alfred was going to be a necrophiliac, and I came up with that, like, years ago. And then I found out about Gigi Allen, and I found out about the song Fuck the Dead, and then it was like, bam, now I know how I'm going to, like, actually go through with explaining that. But yeah, I was just obsessed with corpses back in the day. I went through like a corpse phase in high school, and I would turn on a strobe light and play the chopped up audio and look at pictures of Beetlejuice and just kind of just imagine what necrophilia would be like. And it's just an interesting concept. It's not just fucking the dead. It's like an interesting brings up questions about power and what is power and what is sexuality and how much of sexuality is autoerotic, and people fuck a living person, but it could be like they're fucking the dead because they don't give a shit about them, or the other person doesn't give a shit about them. It's just like masturbation anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a sex doll.
Yes, sex dolls. But yeah, so like Alfred's been like killing and going out and killing and bringing back corpses, I guess, for quite some time. And that's what we learned after Dead Girl Strip Club. He doesn't know he's doing it, though. That's why he, like, wakes up with the corpse. He's, like, that disorganized. He get, like, taped over. I guess he's, like, a disorganized killer, one of those that doesn't really know what they're doing, get all frenzied, as opposed to the calculating killer. He doesn't even know that he's doing it.
And that also
just, like, wakes up with the body,
And I was going to ask about that because the end of Dead Girl Strip Club, I was sitting there, I was slightly confused, but then I saw the Alfred's Playhouse, which it talks about having the split personalities and how he's taking over or someone else takes over the personality. So this young, innocent, I guess, mental victim doesn't know they're being raped and molested and abused.
Right, that's what dissociative identity people do. That's what anyone does that dissociates, but some it goes to a further degree depending on how severe the trauma is, that a character completely takes over them, and then that personality is suppressed inside until it gets triggered, and when Alfred gets triggered, he becomes Dictator Alfred and goes out and commits murderous fucking rampages. I
have to say, when I saw that, the first time I saw the Alfred's Playhouse, I was very impressed, because not that, like, to say anything against any of the other work that I've seen you do, but they're all pieces. They're not a whole complete thing. So when this one, like this one piece was a lot more. There was a beginning, middle, and end to it, and I was just taken back. I'm like, if this is what the movie's going to become, I'm all in. Like, if there's a Kickstarter, I'll put in some money for that shit.
Yeah! Sorry, I got excited. I'm putting out a trailer soon, and there will be a Kickstarter available, and I'll let all you good people know about that. But yeah, that's how the movie is going to be. I'm doing the movie out of order, except I'm trying to do it linearly so that it's as much as I can linear, because I usually work out of order. Mm-hmm. But this story, the time is out of order. It goes back in time. It deals with his flashbacks. It deals with a potential future that perhaps exists or perhaps doesn't. So, like, there is no really linear time in this movie. You don't really know what's real or anything. But I'm trying to, at the beginning at least, come up with a linear sort of a thing. And then But yeah, and then I know how it's gonna come together, like in the big old arch. But now I just need to like manifest it piece by piece, and as I feel like it's just gonna be like squeezing out a nice giant toothpaste load of, like, you know how you squeeze out the end and it all comes together, and then it just like and then it all comes out onto the toothbrush.
I'm sure everyone understands that one. The entire thing, because like you can kind of give us, you can get a sense of where one segment ends and the other one begins. I didn't like, you do get a concept of that. I wanted to ask, is this like, I've never heard of anyone trying to make a feature film through like not even through Newgrounds, but in that vein of like flash animation. Like, are you the first person to do that? Because I think I would have heard about somebody else doing that at some point in my life before this.
Like a whole independent Flash movie, or just a whole independent cartoon?
Well, either one. I've heard of independent cartoons that were done through like studios, and they have people and writers, but like one person sitting
just
down.
One animator. Yeah. I might be the first one. Maybe. It's pretty daunting, you know. That's why you got to do it piece by piece, so you don't think about, you know, it's going to take years. But all movies take years, even with a studio.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, you know, back when I was starting to write it at first, back when I had the mouse, you know, Alfred's Playhouse, I wouldn't have been able to conceive of myself doing this. You know, I was writing and I was like, how could I do it? Now I'm doing it, man. I'm fucking doing it all by myself. I'm not even that scared. But I mean, I will need other people for soundtrack, because soundtrack is key, and I'm gonna have a lot of good independent underground music on the soundtrack.
Well, what's great about like Newgrounds is Newgrounds has that. They have that like you can collaborate on Newgrounds fairly easily with a lot of people who just want to work, which is really interesting to look at that community.
Just want to work. That's the Newgrounds community. Just want to work.
Was I a little too excited for that one?
No, more like just a bunch of lazy, like, pissed off people. Well, I don't know. I put people to work. I'm putting the fans to work, because you know how I said that the fan art was gonna, you know, Alfred is gonna float through the pixel world in the computer, going through all his fan art and all this porn that he sees of himself hopping from GIF to GIF, fucking hoe to hoe, and killing all the way. So I need a bunch of like porn GIFs for me to put in this thing, and so I'm making the fans make some. So I've got a bunch of those in the works. So my movie's being made, even well, I'm not actually making it. Well, I mean, I guess that means that I'm not the only person, but this fan art segment's just going to be like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes out of the whole thing, so.
Well, I would imagine if you go on, like, if you come across or people send you some fan art, you just send it back and say, animate it.
I do.
Oh, really?
I do. I go on Tumblr, I find it, I go, this is fucking amazing. This person can draw better than me. This person, because it's so weird. People can draw Alfred, like, they absorbed his character so well to the point that it's just like, he exists, he's real, they're drawing him. Like, they capture. It's just like it's like I drew it or something. It's just really weird how well they capture him in all his different moods. And sometimes they draw better than I do, so I like seek him out, and I'm like, you animate this, put in the Alfred movie, go in on history. And if I had someone that I loved, like one of my like heroes, like that I did art for, and they told me to make something for their movie, I'd be like, oh, joy!
I like the little mannerisms. They're pretty fucking great. I'm sorry.
I'm really excited. I know you see it that I'm excited, but I am, dude. I'm making a fucking movie.
Now, what do you project for the future? Like, when do you think you're going to be close to possibly finishing?
I'm guesstimating 2016, maybe 2017. Really trying to shoot for 2016. It really depends on how much money I get out of the Kickstarter, because the real obstacle is, living and surviving while I'm making this. So the more money I can get to pay rent, which isn't that much. The budget just would include rent and a little bit of food. And, maybe some weed and some booze every now and then. Because you gotta drink every now and then. It's too hard labor you gotta get wasted every now and then. It's like fucking 8 to 12 hours a day. Non-stop, round the clock, weeks at a time. So you gotta have some drunk days. But yeah, it just depends on if I can get enough money to just do it and not have to work a job. And then I can bang it the fuck out in like maybe 2.5 years.
That's not that, like, to hear 2.5 years from the point I'm at right now, to me it's too long. But in retrospect, to make something at this, like I would say at the rate that it probably does just for one person, that's not that bad.
That's how long a normal film takes with a whole fucking studio. That's how long a normal animated film takes, because they have to dealing with people, which is like 70% of the time. The fucking time is you do this, and organization, and you do that, and we have to get these people and pitch that and do all this dick sucking. But I don't have to do any of that. I just need to talk to myself and be like, all right, go. All right, the end.
There's too much dick sucking in Disney. All that bullshit that's going on.
Or everywhere. It's dick sucking everywhere, And that's what sucks about having to work with people. And that's what I'm glad that I don't have to. And I'm grateful every day that Flash allows me to be able to make this myself instead of having to rely on people. Because that's when you're going to fail, is when you got to rely on people. It sucks, though, because, back in the day, they used to make movies with tons of people, and somehow it all came together.
Yeah.
Could you do that anymore? No, you need a lot of money. So people want their food table. They want their fucking food cart. I don't even have a food table. I don't even have one for myself.
Just crackers.
The snack table or whatever.
Get some club crackers. I don't know, Lunchables. Just throw a bunch of Lunchables on the table. Feel special.
That's so expensive. Fuck Lunchables, man.
There is a difference, though, and I've noticed from how the world is today and how things have changed since, you have the internet. You have the ability to do something like this when, I was going to say 10 years ago, which Flash was still around back then, so I'm going to jump back. Like 25 years ago, no one could do this.
No, you couldn't. That's the beauty of it. I'm like the first of the... we are the first of the internet, the independent animators. You used to have a studio. You had to have a budget. You had to have shit. Now you just need Flash. Literally, and an electric bill.
Just go to Starbucks, plug in your laptop.
Yeah, seriously. I'm just going to one day, like, after a while, I'm just going to be rolling around with my Cintiq and, like, a laptop in a suitcase, just setting up at, like, Tim Hortons, animating from place to place.
Make sure you log. No. This was animated in this place. This is here. Give little shout-outs to wherever I went to the park for 15 minutes. That's where this segment came from.
More like 2 frames.
Oh, yeah. I was like, that's where these drawings came from.
This 5-minute segment I whipped up in 10 minutes at the park. Some people think that's how it is, though. Some people really think that that's how fast it is.
Yeah, I used to dabble with Flash, and I had like Flash 5, and holy shit, did I not have the patience for that. I took animation classes. I'm like, I don't have patience for this. You have to give it to anyone who has the patience to sit there and animate, like actually animate, not Flash draw like I'm sliding in and now the mouth is just going crazy and there's talking going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not so much... I don't know. The animator mindset, I guess it takes a special sort of a brain to be able to sit there and do that at the time. I've gotten to the point where if I don't do it, I will go insane. And I get anxious. I need my brain to be constantly occupied with something. Or I get so bored. I really can't. I can't just sit there. I can't. And so that's why I have to have this that I do at all hours of the day.
I know exactly how you mean. I'm in like the same boat. I'm not making any money doing my show. I do my show. I do 10 hours a week of talk radio. This is my thing. And the industry itself is rejecting the people who have, I guess, no real professional experience. Granted, I've been doing this for 8 years. So it's just like once if this is gone, I go insane as well. Like Christmas vacation is the worst thing to me because I'm like, I need to talk. I need to do this. I need to do this. It's kind of, isn't it awful to have passion?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, though, I need it so much. I love passion. Thank God for the passion, bro. Like, I need it. No, this animation is my life. It's my pride and joy. It's the substitute of everything. It's just the world. Oh, it's also a power and control thing. It's, you have a world that you're in complete control of. You have complete power over these characters. It fills in OCD skills. It fills in repetitious needs. Repetition, bullshit over and over and over again. If you need that.
Do you have OCD?
I definitely have a lot of tendencies from a variety of different things. Like if I don't get my power through animating, gore, for instance, I got to get my rage out. Who knows what I'm going to do? And you know what? If more people did cartoons, maybe more people wouldn't be killing each other. And I'm not even kidding. I'm serious. In American Psycho, when Patrick Bateman, they found his notebooks at the end, and it was just filled with cartoons.
Uh-huh.
And it was just basically like, eat my rotten meat.
He should have been animating.
He should have, dude. And his mind needed to be occupied. He was bored, because he was a sociopath.
I think a part of your Kickstarter should be about world peace, and just throw a computer with like Flash to the Middle East and just see what happens. Maybe we'll have the greatest movie of all time, and there will be peace over there.
Yeah, just chuck a computer. Just chuck like 50 Cintiqs out of the sky. Don't drop bombs. Just drop Cintiqs down on the kids. And no, but I mean, honestly, seriously though, like all the fucked up kids over there really need like an intensive Flash, intensive therapy, rigorous thing to retrain their brains to focus on something other than their trauma. Because if you have the trauma going on in your brain all the time, you need to distract yourself. That's the other thing. Cartoons is good distraction. And then they can also work through their trauma through the cartoons and make some bomb-ass cartoons. The most fucked up kids make the best literally bomb-ass cartoon.
Oh, that's perfect wording right there. Just animate killing your enemies. I mean, after that, you're just like, I did it.
Exactly, and that's what Alfred's going to do, and he's going to go through the internet killing all of the top internet people asserting he's the fucking king of the internet, and he's going to kill Mr. Pickles, whoever that fucking asshole ripped off my shit, if he did. It's that show on Adult Swim about like a satanic dog, and the dog has no swag, the dog has nothing going for it. It's just cheese, canned, empty Satanism with nothing behind it. There's a lot behind Satanism, So fuck that show. Alfred's gonna kill Mr. Pickles, and he's gonna be like, I am Dictator Pickles! I am Dictator Pickles! And it's going to be so cathartic. And when I vision it, it is like killing someone. That's how great it is. And that's the rush I get from envisioning these cartoons.
I'm trying to look because I've never heard of that cartoon. I don't really watch Adult Swim. I'm like, during that time, I'm usually in the middle of doing my show anyway, so I don't get a chance to really sit down and watch any of that. But this looks pretty awful from what I'm looking at.
It's a pilot. They haven't actually put it out yet.
Oh, really?
It's coming out in August. Therefore, this summer, I have to officially make Alfred the official, original, psychopath, Satan, Christ fucking rapist dog.
Now, are there satanic views in or satanic kind of symbolism or ideas that are thrown throughout the show or throughout the different episodes? Because I think I might not have picked up on some of those.
On my shit?
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's not it's not a rigorous Satanism. I don't mean I'm like a Satanist, man. I just mean just fucked up elements that people would associate with Satan. I mean, I guess rather than Jesus, because people are always so quick to judge,
Yeah.
But there's nothing I'm not trying to put in any Satanist worshipping things in my shit. If it happens, it happens. But it's
well, the Satanism that I always I is the satanic atheist, just because they're just coming is fun. Let's do this all the time. It's just so self-serving. It's just funny to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, God created the asshole. God gave us all, half of us a dick and half of us a pussy. And half someone between too. So why is everyone so fucking upset about it? Why does everyone think it's so horrible when I have a dog with a dick? A cartoon dog. Your dog has a dick. You look at it every day. I know your hand gets close to it when you're petting its belly.
Red Rocket, Red Rocket.
Yeah.
Now, with some of the ideas, I'm taking it that you are putting yourself in the, Alfred is a part of you or maybe an exaggeration of you.
Yeah, Alfred is who I would be if I could not animate Alfred, which is completely fucking insane and needy. Exactly, pretty much it. Simple as that.
Well, it's very narcissistic, but you know what? It works. I fucking love this shit. Not to call it shit, in fact, but I love it. I'm looking forward to anything. Do you have anything that you're going to be posting anytime soon?
Actually, yes. On 4/20, Easter Sunday, that's 2 days, putting out the weed collab with, Golfinho?
No.
Okay, everybody. Golfinho, that's Brazilian for dolphin. He's a Brazilian animator. He's fucking amazing. We found out that we're mutual fan friends, it's the best feeling in the world. And I'm putting out a weed collab with him and Katobopis, which is another fucking amazing animator. These are the top of the Newgrounds food chain. But they're they're subversive. They're not the classic, because there's so much horrible shit on Newgrounds. They're not the stupid shit. They're they deal with the perverse subject matter that I do as well. So that weed collab is dropping on 4/20. So keep an eye out for it. Fucking on newgrounds.com. Yeah.
And I actually just remembered that there was another collab that you did. It was Bear and Bunny Boo. Bunny Boo.
I didn't take part in that. That was Speedo Sausages.
Okay. Did you have anything to do with that? Because I thought there was something in there. And that's playing for some reason. Hold on 1 second. Let me close that. Okay,
I don't know,
sorry.
but Speedo Sausage loves me. Speedo Sausage is my little protege. He's 19, and he's improved so much over the years. In 2 years, he's gotten fucking amazing. Look at the progression between Teletubbies, the fucking perverse Teletubbies, and now, and you will see a world of difference. That kid's gonna be big. He's gonna be big. He's already getting more views than me, so I'm so proud. I love Speedo Thlussage. And the AAA crew, that's my animator gang. I love you, boys.
A gang now. This is getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm digging this. I'm completely digging this. I'm looking forward for, obviously, Sunday, because everyone's Lord and Savior is going to be sitting down watching one of your cartoons.
Alfred?
Yes.
Yeah!
So, thanks for calling in. Do you have, like, obviously there's your Newground handle. Do you have, like, a Twitter, Facebook, or anything anyone else can go to?
I got a Facebook. Emily Youcis. There you can see all my paintings and all of my shit. And I do have a YouTube channel that is kind of... Because I don't have... All my content's too obscene for YouTube. So it's just like this kind of half channel. So I don't know if I really want to advertise that. But yeah.
And then the Newgrounds?
Emily Youcis. I don't feel like spelling it. You'll find it.
It'll be in the description of the show, and on the I'll tweet it out. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Thanks for calling. And next time you got something else, feel free if you want to jump in and promote.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'll let you know when the Kickstarter is out, and then we can have another show.
All right, and you can weird out Roach, my co-host.
Yeah.
You can follow Wedge on Twitter at Wedge Radio Show, or you can follow the network at Wedge Network. There's also the Facebook page, Wedge Radio, and Tumblr, wedgeradio.net. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and listen to the other shows on the Wedge Radio Network just by going to wedgeradionetwork.com.